Yes.
So in my life, and this is principle, this has nothing to do with just my story or just that time in my life. So in my life today, anytime I deviate from that, my good is diminished on every level. And anytime I return to that is when abundance happens. I think you said something earlier, I can't remember. Oh, when you came and you wanted a certain something,
Yeah.
what you got back was not the highest level.
Right.
It's when you were empty of all that and you'd seen what life was really about. And so you weren't buying into all this. And I think also early in my career, because right when I started lecturing here in Los Angeles in 1983 at a place called the Philosophical Research Society. Not long after that, the AIDS epidemic burst onto the scene. And it took a while for the organized religious institutions to work through their own stuff. And it took a while for Western medicine to find anything helpful. And during that time, there was this then young woman over in a corner of Los Angeles and Los Feliz talking about a God who loves you no matter what, who works miracles. So in a very real way, gay men in Los Angeles gave me my career, that love relationship. So the fact that very early in my work doing that, there was an experience of such seriousness and suffering. It's not even that it burned away any falsehood. The falsehood of that kind never had a chance to emerge because it was so real from the beginning. Like when you were talking about having seen the world, seeing what's really happening. So this whole, I want to be this, I want to be that stuff just...
So your whole life was organic. You just were following your passion, and then one thing led to another, led to another, led to another.
And that's not even a was, it's an is.
Yes, yeah, right.
I mean, you know, in the real world, there is no time. You know, the past is only in your mind, the future is only in your mind. So every moment I either reenact that or I don't. And when I do, incredible things happen. I always say, when I practice what I preach, my life really works. You know, when I do that, it's, you know, it's as true today as it was, 30 years ago.
Yes,
and
yes.
when I don't, I have limited, the concept. It's really a law, cause and effect. And
that's absolutely true. I feel the same way. Anytime I actually following my own advice or just being in the moment, being present, my life unfolds. Anytime I try to manipulate it, it's
and being present for the right reason.
Yes, absolutely.
Just to stand in a space of emptiness and how might I serve.
Yes.
And that you can't stand in that and be ambitious for a spiritual career at the same time.
Or say, let me study this person. What is she doing? Because I'm going to start copying her. So many people go to your class going, I just love watching her and how she does it so I could...
Well, listen, I'm honored by that. I mean, I do
absolutely,
think...
because you're a pro. You really touch audiences when you speak, and that is the key to being a good speaker.
And thank you for that. And though there's also something beautiful as you become older, that there are people in generations behind you. And I am at that point in my life where I get to be on some level, if not personally, then at least in a public role, a kind of mentor. And so I'm very pleased to see this kind of younger generation of these young priestesses,
Yes.
So I'm honored by that. Don't get me wrong. I think that's really kind of beautiful. And everybody speaks from their own generational experience.
Yes.